fans of Comic Land, it's Leila here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. And first up, we've got Spider Island, Spidergirl, number 1 of 3 by Paul Tobin and Pepe Larraz. So in this one, Anya Corazon has been infected, giving her amazing new spider powers to fight with as Spidergirl. And her new gifts are tested pretty quickly as she's attacked by the Society of the Wasp, who want to snuff out spiders, all spiders, which is a lot on Spider Island. And during her fight with the Wasp, she is approached by some unlikely allies. Everything is topsy-turvy in Spider Island, but can Anya trust her new friends? So I was prepared to hate this, I'll be honest, but I actually thought it was pretty good. It had good art. The story was really gripping. They really captured, especially in the art, that it really captured like the scope and the speed of the non-stop action. Like there's pretty much fighting through the entire book, which was really cool. So this is actually a really welcome addition to the Spider Island saga, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Next up, we've got The Heap, number 1 by Charles Knopf and Sammy Karelia. It's wartime in Poland, and there's a monstrous creature that inhabits Wassoe Swamp, and he's a protector of the land and the people. He is the Heap. So again, I didn't know what to think about this one, but it is really well drawn, and the story is really well done. It's kind of reminds me of sort of Swamp Thing a bit, but it is different. It has its own thing going on. But if you're a fan of that series, you're probably gonna like this. Or if you like sort of dark fantasy, I think Heap is a book that you're going to enjoy, and I was really pleasantly surprised. It is very good. But then again, you know, Moonstone does put out some pretty good stuff now and then. So pick this one up if you want to give something different a try. And last but not least, we've got Stuff of Legend, Volume 3, A Jester's Tale, Part 1. This is by Mike Rake, Brian Smith, and Charles Paul Wilson III. So in this one, our group of heroic toys have been splintered, and some are following Percy and gone off in one direction, trying to make their way out of the dark. And then on the other side of things, Jester and the princess remain behind, pushing forward to try and save the boy from the boogeyman. But the princess is captured, and the Jester must team with the mayor to try and find her. Meanwhile, Percy and the others find an ally to their cause. So, I love this series. If you haven't invested in Stuff of Legend at all, you really should give it a try. It's got great art, it's great story. It looks like it's a kid's book on the outside, but it really is a great read for adults who enjoy sort of fantasy fiction. And it has really dark themes, deep themes. It's not just for kids. Again, it's just such a good read, and if you haven't tried it, I really highly recommend it. See you next week.
Hey folks, Jim here with this week's comic book reviews, and first up we have 3 viewer send-ins this week. Yep, 3 viewer send-ins. And first up we have Freelance Blues, number 1, written by Ian Daffin and Mike Leone, with art by Vicky Tierney. And in this one, it turns out innocent jobs are not so innocent. Mummy cults are running organ donor programs, demons are telemarketing, and aliens are using breathalyzers to fuel their ships. And it's Lance's job to clean up after all this. This is actually a really funny online comic. If you've never read it, check it out. It's really good. Story-wise, it's pretty good. Art-wise, it's a little amateurish, but it really works well in this particular setting. So, if you want to try something a little different, like Men in Blackish, this is the book for you. Next up, we have Road Apples Almanac, The Helmet, written and drawn by Don Vanderahe. And in this one, looking for a peaceful life, Aldous and his dog Shep purchase an 800-acre old pasture, using it to indulge in a variety of interests, hoping to forget their hectic past. When they get an email saying that they found their helmet, Aldous' helmet, in Australia. So he's off on the road to Australia to get the helmet back. This is a fun little book. If you're a fan of stuff like Pogo or Bone, you're really going to like this. The art is really reminiscent of Walt Kelly, and I really like that about this book. It's just simply wonderful, and I really enjoyed the characters as well, which is always a good thing when you're reading a comic like such. And last, and certainly, well, maybe a bit least, is Helos, written by Fred Kennedy with art by Andre Fernandez. And in this one, since the fall of man, the old civilizations are a myth and a new world has replaced them. The great Helid kingdoms struggle to control the vast terrain, while the pluralist crusaders continue to expand their newly acquired lands. And if they can't unite peacefully, the Hellian leaders will find themselves without a home. Interesting premise, not so great on the uptake. Art-wise, it's okay, it just doesn't seem to work. I actually think this book probably would have worked better in black and white than in color. The colors are a little muddy at times, but other than that, it's okay for a first attempt, and if you want to try something a tad road warrior-ish, you're probably going to enjoy it. We'll see you. Hey folks, Jim here. Just a reminder, we will probably be taking next week off because me and Leila are heading to Fan Expo!
Yay!
Or as I like to call it, fuck the Fans Expo. Yeah, let's just let them stay in line for 4 or 5 hours. They won't hate us at all. Anyway, be sure to join us next week for almost live episodes and interviews from Fan Expo. And don't forget, Kermit and I will be there, as well as Muppet Jim. And you'll be able to meet us and greet with us pretty much anywhere during the convention, because I'm going to be walking my ass off. You people say that I'm fat. I won't be fat after next week. We'll see you next week at Fan Expo.